One other person was wounded in that shooting. 38-year-old Tebogo Mnisi was arrested in connection with the double murder and appeared in court this week. The matter has been postponed to the 19th of January.
There must be no bail hearing for this gentleman. Let us move directly into the trial so as to avoid delaying justice, because justice denied is justice delayed. Justice delayed is justice denied. We are happy that the courts and himself decided, you know what, I'm not going out. By the way, there was a fire at his house, and because of the fire, he decided to go. He decided to go and hand himself in, which means that we might be closer to justice than many other cases in this country. But we need to make sure that justice is served. On the 19th of January, we will be there. We will be at Mamelodi Magistrates Court in numbers. Come rain or sunshine, we'll be there demanding for justice.
For more, we are now joined by Soil of Africa's Bongani Ramontja. Bongani, a very good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us today. So, of course, this is quite a shock, not only for the community of Mamelodi, but for South Africans all around. I mean, these two young women, their lives cut short by what seems to be intimate partner violence, this apparently being a boyfriend to one of the two girls. What do you see to be lacking within our communities that we continue to see such violence against women?
Well, thank you very much. Allow me to greet the viewers of Newzroom. I think this is an eye-opener to the community of Mamelodi and the rest of the community across South Africa, because we've been negligent and ignorant about the killing of and the GBV that is taking place in our community. This is not the first murder that took place in Mamelodi. I mean, last week, we buried another girl was raped in Mamelodi and killed, and we were ignored. And we were ignorant about it, rather. And also, we're sitting on more than 20 girls that have been killed in Mamelodi. So we're saying to the community that it's high time that we must unite. As they did unite yesterday when we were at the court, we saw a beautiful unity. We saw all the political parties coming together and the civic movement. I think it's high time that we have the same voice, the voice that will change the status of our community and GBV as a whole. Because this GBV is really affecting our children. Our children cannot even have freedom to go to the tuck shop, freedom to even express themselves, freedom to even go to the parks because they don't know what will happen, freedom to even go and party and enjoy with their friends because there are men outside there who are supposed to protect them who are evil, and men outside there who are perpetrators who are ready to destroy and shame manhood as a whole. Thank you very much.
You speak of a young girl who was raped and killed and buried last week in Mamelodi, and you say you were ignored. Who were you ignored by?
And I'm saying that the community are ignoring these issues that are happening in Mamelodi. I mean, this is we are sitting on more than 23 girls that have been murdered in Mamelodi. We're saying in South Africa that we're not going to ignore this. We need to take it very seriously with the community, meaning that we need to enforce and we need to make sure that as a community now we come together and we shut down Mamelodi with one voice. We need to demand one thing from the police, SAPS. They must bring the soldiers to come and raid Mamelodi, because Mamelodi's got a lot of illegal firearms. We don't even know where they come from, one. Secondly, you find taverns and clubs that are illegal, and people always go there. They don't comply. No one is bothered to go check if they comply. No one is bothered to check whether they should close at 2 o'clock or whatsoever. Now they must change the system. They must close at 11 o'clock at least now, no longer at 2 o'clock, because everything that is happening of the killing, the echo happens during the night. And the night is where now, when we wake up in the morning, we find that our little kids have been killed. Hence, I said that the community, we're ignoring that. And now it's high time that we don't ignore it anymore. It's high time that we come together and have one voice, the voice to change what is happening in our community. Thank you.
And I certainly appreciate the fact that there's some accountability that you put on the communities themselves with regards to not only standing up, but looking around and seeing the social ills that exist within our communities and trying to create reforms amongst ourselves for us to be able to combat, especially the scourge of GBV. Do you think that there are programs that could also be done, especially in educating and creating awareness when it comes to men if ever there is issues of depression or however they react, such as this young man has reacted in the loss of 2 young women and that other young man who's now lying in hospital?
I strongly believe that we must have a men camp. This thing of men conference does not work. The men camp. Men have serious issues, mental issues. And we don't speak. We only meet when we talk about politics. We only meet when we talk about soccer and etc. We never meet when we want to talk about situations that are affecting us, because there's so much pressure and demand on us as men. We are providers by nature. We are the leaders by nature. We are the head of our families. We are the head of the community. It's a nature. That's what God has given us. But because we cannot handle that, when we end up boiling up all the anger, then we're taking out some other day to somebody that is vulnerable, and that person won't be a woman. So I'm saying to the community, and I'm saying that there must be programs of men camp. Men must be taken very seriously, because this issue of neglecting the issue that are affecting men, which is their mental state, we should not ignore it anymore. Men must start talking about the issues. Men must start talking about how they've been raised. Because what you see the reflection of how they grew up. You see the reflection of the environment of where they're coming from. So our environment were not fashionable for all of us. I mean, that guy is the same age as us, is the same generation, and we know how we grew up. We know the environment, how it was. The role models for us, it was not doctors. Our role models were gangsters. You know, we grew up in that kind of environment. We grew up in that kind of a community. Now it's high time we who are able to now understand and have the wisdom to change the community. It's high time that we must start having men camps where now we're going to talk about how we change, how we transform our thinking, what we need to do and provoke ideas that will bring change amongst our community and make sure that we build our community. Even those middle classes that grew up in townships and left and went to suburbs, they must come back and give back the skills and come back and give and assist the community, assist these men that are sitting at home and not doing anything, because sitting at home, it frustrates and it boils anger. Then you end up taking out on a vulnerable person, and that person is a woman, a very beautiful, precious species on earth. Thank you.
All right, Bongani, thank you for your time and for joining us this evening. Certainly is commended that there are still voices and young men, particularly in townships such as Mamelodi, that are able to stand up and say, let's take accountability for what we're seeing around us. Thank you so much for joining us for that conversation.